Hello, this is Lorraine, and we're going to start on our January cards. And this is the first one for Valentine's. And we're going to get started on that. So here's our card. We're going to look at that. Okay. And it's multi-layered, like that, a detail. So first you're going to need some 8.5 by 5.5 inch cut cardstock, scored at 4 1/4. You'll fold that in half, and then you're going to feed it through your Big Shot to this frame tulip embossing folder, which is a new embossing folder that you can buy. That's in our new occasions mini catalog that becomes effective January the 4th. So if you're seeing this a bit early, then you're getting a sneak peek of one of the items in there. Okay, and once you run your cardstock through the Big Shot with the folder, you get a nice embossed front edge. The next layer is a piece of Whisper White cut 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then you're going to take our first stamp set we're going to use, which is the Heart of Hearts, and this is from our big catalog. And we're going to just use this little heart here that looks like a little candy heart with the word love on it. And we're going to use our Poppy Parade in color classic ink, and we're going to stamp the little heart down one side here. If this is facing you, this is on your left, and then across part of the bottom, and then fill in the corner so you get this effect. Okay, and then the next layer is a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock. Poppy Parade is one of our new in colors, and it's cut the same because it's going to overlay, but we can't see our hearts now. Oh no. So you're going to tear away, make a rough edge, tear away at an angle to create a piece like this. And then you can go ahead and snail that down. This is our snail adhesive. So you're going to snail, put that on there and snail it down. And then the next layer is ribbon. And the first ribbon we're going to create is this Poppy Parade satin ribbon. We do not sell Poppy Parade satin ribbon, so you have to create it. If you buy white ribbons, you can dye them using our classic inks to any color you need. So to do that, what you do is you take your ink and you put on some rubber gloves, and then you would take your white ribbon and press your finger down and then pull it through, and you repeat that several times, front and back of the ribbon, till you get the intensity of color that you desire. Okay, so we have our Poppy Parade ribbon and our second and third layer, and you're going to snail this down and wrap it around the back. And then you're going to take a piece of our 1/8 inch taffeta ribbon in Pretty in Pink, and you're going to snail that also and apply it to the ribbon, and then you're going to snail both of them down. For some reason this particular snail is not adhering. That's not a good selling point, is it? Anyway, this is a demonstration, not the real deal. Okay, so you're going to wrap that on there, add your second ribbon, fold them around to the back, and snail them down so they stay down. Okay, and then you can go ahead and add these layers to the front of your card. So And then we're ready to start building our flower, the last element. Okay. The next stamp set we're going to use is another new one that's called Blush. No, it's not Blush Blossom. That's a color. How about Build a Blossom? Yes, there it is. Build a Blossom. Build a Blossom. Okay, so this one allows us to do either two-step stamping, where you stamp a light color in the solid stamps and then do a darker color over this stamped image, and you get a layered effect that's very nice. But what we're going to do for this flower is we're just going to take the enhanced petal enhancement and stamp that over colored cardstock. So we're going to take some more Blushing Bride and stamp it with the petal stamp and the Poppy Parade ink. And we're going to stamp it 5 times. And we're going to start, well, we have a punch that matches the stamp set that you'll use to punch it out. So you have to cut around all those shapes. So you're going to start from your left and work toward your right as you punch across. If you don't, if you started from this side, then you will be destroying the image next to the one you're going to be punching. You don't want to do that. So you want to always work, if you're doing this particular part of this punch, from left to right. Oops, you're supposed to be squeezing on the punch while you're taking the debris out of it. Okay, make sure you have all the debris out before you start the next cut. And this scrap is giving me a little bit of wrangling problem here. You won't have that, right? Okay, it doesn't want to go in. Let me straighten that piece out. Maybe it will now. There we go. What's nice about these punches too, if you're like me where you have wrist tendonitis or something, you can leave them laying on a surface so your hand's free, and then you can just push down. Pretty easy. Okay, so we have, it's a good way to use scraps is to have this kind of a punched out design. Okay, then you're also going to need a 1-inch circle punch and a 1 3/8 inch circle punch so that you can punch out 2 circles from the Poppy Parade cardstock. And these are going to be the base and the top of your flower. So you're going to build your flower petals. You'll dry fit this around so you kind of figure how it's going to go together. And you want them to be fairly close together, so you're going to overlap the centers as you go around. So you got to kind of a feel how the flower is going to come together. Okay. Next thing you want to do is curl the petals. So you just, it's very easy to do. Just flex it around. And flex it around. Okay. Alright, and then you can start adhering. And you can put a little adhesive in the middle. Start your first petal. And you'll need to put adhesive on each petal at the center. Don't worry about being perfect with this. If the placement doesn't, we have ways to deal with it if it's not perfect. You don't need perfect anyway, right? Alrighty, so here we have our petals. You're really not going to be able to adjust much after that. The snail adhesive is very good adhesive, and so it's going to hold it pretty much where it is. Okay, and then we're going to put our smaller circle over the top. Okay, so now our flower is complete as far as that part. Alright, next you're going to need a matte pack. And it comes in 3 pieces. This one for doing precision hole punching, and this one is a hard surface so you don't punch holes in your table. And then this one is the spongy soft one that allows you to punch holes. This is too far of a reach for your crocodile. You won't be able to use that. Excuse me. Alright, so you're going to pierce through all the layers, and then you're going to pierce another hole right next to it. Okay, so you have a pretty good size hole to put your brad through. Okay, and then you're going to need a clear rhinestone brad. This is going to be our bling element. And then we have a filigree brad surround. So you feed your brad through the filigree, and then through the hole you punched in your flower, and open up the back. Okay, and then we're going to add the leaves, and the leaves will help fill in. See, you can see I have a pretty good gap right here, but that's a good place for leaves to go. So we're going to stamp the leaves using the same stamp set. And one thing nice about our acrylic blocks is you can put several together to make your stamping more efficient. And we're going to use Pear Pizzazz ink on Pear Pizzazz cardstock. You're going to stamp the image. This normally you'd be stamping 1, 2, 3, 4, but because we can put 2 on 1, you can do 2 at a time. You'll stamp 4 leaves, and I've already punched out 3 of them. I just wanted to show you that. And I'm going to punch out the last one. Okay, the leaf is also on this punch. In this case, we'll be working from right to left if we had a row of these stamped across. So there we go. So we have our 4 leaves. Okay, and then you're going to again play around with your placement where you want them to go. I know I want some behind to fill my gap there, and this is kind of a bigger gap over here too, so I think I'll do my leaves this way. Alright, so now you're going to put some snail on there. Maybe layer up your leaves in advance to attaching them to the flower. Okay, and then you're going to snail that, and then go to your gap area, and just outside the circle. You won't be overlapping the circle at all. And there you go. And then again, snail, and fill in the gap. In this case, in this particular part, I'm going to be overlapping a little bit. That's okay. Alright, oops. See, I have a gap. So I guess you are going to overlap the center a little bit. Okay, see that? Alright. Alright, then normally with a heavy brad like this, we might use dimensionals or something to give it more support, or sticky strip. But because we have lots of flat surface here with the leaves and the center, we can attach it using just snail. So do that. So snail it all up, and then you can attach it to the front of your card. And you've got your finished card. So that's our fun Valentine. And of course this could be a card for other occasions too, but because we've put this little insert with the little love hearts, it puts it on over into Valentine mode, right? Okay, that's card number 1. On to card number 2.